Hello everyone. So we're taking a deep dive into the key financial statement, which is used for the purpose of financial analysis or financial modeling, as the case may be. So on our list, we have income statement, the cash flow statement, and the balance sheet. These are the key three financial statements. We have others, such as the notes to the account, a statement of changes in the equity, but these are the key financial statements. Now, what does income statements mean actually? So income statement basically summarizes the revenue and the expenses that the company make within a period of time. So our financial statements are normally prepared using a 12-month cycle basically, and the income statement is one of those financial statements. So looking at the breakdown of the income statement, so this is basically a format or a breakdown of our income statement. So our income statement starts with the sales revenue. Then we have our cost of sales, which is also referred to as our cost of goods sold, which is a direct cost to actually producing the goods or the products that the firm sells to make revenue. Then our sales revenue minus our cost of sales gives us what is called our gross profit. Then for our gross profits downwards, we have list of expenses, which are the indirect cost, either to market those products or general and administrative expenses and other various expenses as the case may be. So our gross profits minus this total indirect cost, we are going to have our EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, which is also referred to as our operating profit. Then we charge our interest deducted by our taxes, which is going to be paid to the government. Our EBIT minus interest minus taxes is going to give us what is called net income or profits after tax. This is a typical breakdown of the income statement. Moving on to the cash flow statement. So the cash flow statement basically serves as a bridge between the income statement and the balance sheet, because the income statement and the balance sheet are prepared on the accrual basis, while the cash flow statement is prepared on cash flow basis, meaning we are actually checking the cash flows, the cash inflows and outflow during the course of the business or during the 12 months monthly cycle period of the business. Basically, that's what the cash flow measures. So it is split into theory. Our cash flow statement is split into theory. Looking at the breakdown of the cash flow, we have the operating activity, we have the investing activity, and we have the financing activity. For operating activity, these are cash flows that are associated with sales and purchases and other expenses. These are cash flows that are derived mainly from the operations of the business, the purpose for which the business is established. These are cash flows that are derived from it. So it is either prepared using direct method or indirect method. When we get to the formats, we're going to look at the indirect method because that's the most widely used for preparing operating activities under the cash flow statement. Moving on, we have the investing activity. Investing activities actually looks at the assets of the company, the long-term asset of the company. It deals with the acquisition or disposal or other investment typically that the company has made during the period under review. So we have acquisition. If we are acquiring an asset, a fixed asset or an investment, that is an outflow to the business. The money is going out of the company. But if it's a disposal of a non-current asset, then we are disposing, we are selling. Proceeds is coming in from the sale of the fixed assets or the non-current assets. So money is actually flowing into the organization. That's a cash inflow. Moving on to the last aspect of it, we have the financing activity. Financing activity actually deals with cash flow that arises due to changes in the company capital structure. The company capital structure is made up of two things, debt and equity. Debt and equity. For debt, you have your interest or your proceed from borrowings or the repayment of those borrowings, basically. Or for your equity, you have the dividend payments to shareholders, or when you issue out capital, when a company issue out capital, basically, there's a cash inflow from investors. So we have those theory that makes up our cash flow statement. Now let's look at the format. this is the first one on our list, which is basically the operating activity. This is prepared using the indirect method. This is how the indirect method is prepared for our operating activities. So we have profit before tax starting the top of the line. Our profit before tax is gotten from our income statement. Profits before tax. So we make some adjustments because under our income statements, like I said earlier, it's prepared using the accrual basis. So, but for the cash flow, we actually want to look at the actual amount of cash inflows and cash outflow during the period under review. So, we're going to be making adjustments to some non-cash items. Example include depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization is basically an estimate that is made for our non-current assets, basically, and our intangible assets. Yes. Others non-current adjustments include the gain and loss on disposal of non-current assets. Then we move on to changes in working capital. So changes in working capital, basically, we are trying to look at the movement of working capital items, such as receivable, payables, prepayments, and inventory. Then we have our adjustments for tax paid and our interest paid. Again, this is the breakdown of our operating activity. Moving on to investing activity. Like I said, our investing activity deals with our assets, basically, our non-current assets and our investments and the likes under the asset categories, neglecting just current assets. So we have acquisition of shares. The company is acquiring some shares in a company by making investments in a company. That's a cash outflow. That's why the this $450 million is in brackets. Brackets represent outflow in accounting, deduction, basically. So we have proceeds from the sale of equipment. When we make a sale on an equipment, there's a cash inflow into the organization. That's why the amount it is positive. We have other typical example of investing activity on the right hand side of the presentation. So moving on to our cash flow from financing activity. Remember, we said these are cash flow that are generated due to changes in capital structure of the organization. So we have from proceeds of the issue of shares to the repayment of loans and dividend paid to shareholders. Other activities or other examples on the right hand side of the screen also. So at the end of the day, the addition of our net cash flow from operating activity alongside net cash is in investing activity, the net cash is in financing activity. The addition of the two is going to give us what is called net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents for the year. Net increase in cash and cash equivalents for the year. Then we have our cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the year. So in accounting, we have what is called balance brought forward and balance carried down and balance brought down. So basically, what the cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year means during last year's period under review, during the last year period under review, what was the ending balance of the year? What was the cash flow that was ended during the year? So the cash flow of that, the cash and cash equivalent of the last year is going to be the cash and cash equivalent that starts this our currency. That's going to be our cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year. So the addition of net changes in cash and cash equivalent alongside cash and cash equivalent at the beginning of the year is going to give us what is called cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year. So this also flows into our balance sheet. Subsequently, we'll be looking at how these three financial statements are connected. So I'm going to make a video on that and leave that here. I'm going to be making how the three financial statements are connected. This is one of the ways in which statement of cash flow is actually connected to the balance sheet. Then we have the last key financial statement, which is the balance sheet. So our balance sheet shows the assets, which has the company's resources, the company resources, and it also shows how those resources are funded. So how those resources are funded are divided into two parts, which is the liability section and the equity section. So like I said, the asset are the company's resources. So the resources basically include long-term assets and short-term assets. Long-term assets include property, plants, and equipment, which is our PPE, the intangible assets, our investment, and the company goodwill, basically. The short-term assets include inventories, the trade and under receivable, cash account equivalent, bank, and either cash at hand or cash at bank, basically. Also, we have the liability section. We have non-current liabilities, which is the long-term liability, which include long-term debt and debenture. Then also we have our current liability, which include accounts payables and other short-term debts. Also, we can have bank overdrafts as our current liability. Then lastly, we look at the equity section, which can comprise of the company issues capital, the share premium, and retained earning. At the end of the period or at the end of our preparation of the balance sheet or the financial statements, when you're doing financial analysis, you look at your balance sheet. The assets section must actually equals the liability and the equity section. Remember, when I said assets are those company resources, while the liability and the equity are what fund those resources, basically. This is it. Okay, yeah, good. So we have our total assets, which comprises of non-current assets plus our current assets. Then we have our total liability and total shareholders equity, which at the end of the day, the addition of those two will give us the addition of just non-current assets plus current assets. So total assets equals to total liability plus total shareholders equity. We're good to go. This is the typical format of a balance sheet. So we have our non-current assets. That's in the top of the line. Different examples of non-current assets include property, plants, and equipment, freehold premises, motor vehicle, and the likes, making comprises of our non-current assets. Moving on to our current liability, our current assets rather. Our current assets for this scenario is arranged in terms of liquidity. How easy is it to convert those items to cash? So we have cash, which is the most liquid asset. Moving on to the accounts receivable inventory, then the addition of our current assets and our non-current assets makes up the total assets for the organization, for the firm. Then we have our non-current liability, which makes up the debenture, then long-term debt. Moving on to our current liability, we have examples of accounts payable, accrued expenses, total current liabilities, which make up our current liability. Then we'll move on to the equity section, which is the issued capital, the retained earnings, and shareholders' equity. The addition of total liability and shareholders' equity is going to give us 180, which is equivalent to our total assets. Remember also, I said the financial statements are interconnected. So this cash, basically, it is derived from the cash coming from the balance sheet, from the cash flow statements, rather. That's the cash coming from the cash flow statements. While the adjustments we make to our written earnings, one of the adjustments we make to our written earnings is our net income, which is coming from our income statements, So those are typical ways of how the financial statements are interconnected. So one of the ways the income statement is connected to the statement of cash flow is also the profits before tax, which is coming from the income statement. So our understanding the financial statements is key because those key financial statements are interconnected to each other. Basically, make sure you understand the analysis, the basis of the financial statement, because it's going to help in your financial analysis and your financial modeling, as we move on in our subsequent videos. Other financial statements, like I mentioned at the beginning of the videos, include statements of changes in the equity and notes to the account. Basically, what statement of changes in equity does is to look at the movement of equities, basically that evolve or revolve around the firm. Basically, what notes to the financial statement gives more information to each line item on the financials, on the other financials. It gives more information that an analyst wants to know about those key line items. Basically, that's what the notes the account does. But interestingly, those are the three key financial statements. The income statement, a statement of cash flow, and the balance sheet. Make sure you understand this. Thank you for watching. We'll meet during the next video.